Welcome to Think Like UPSC. Today we are going to study contribution of moral thinkers and philosophers. In this I'll cover one by one Indian thinkers and then Western thinkers. So before dealing with this, let's talk about how many questions in previous years, year by years, UPSC has asked and what kind of questions UPSC has asked you. So in 2030, when we talk about 2013, UPSC asked number 3 questions from this, and then 2014 again one, 2015 2 questions, then 2016 4 question. Same is in 2016 4 question. Then your 2023 2024 it asked you again 4 question. 2016 is 4 and then 2024 is also 4 question. Then 2017 it asked 1 question, 2018 1, then 2019 it again increased the number from 1 to 3. Then 2020 it asked maximum question, that was 5, number of questions were 5, and in 2021 again 3, and 2022 again 2, and 2023 3, and then 4. So let's if we see from 2019 onwards till today, till 2024, UPSC has been increasing the number of questions. Either it's asking a question on Mahatma Gandhi. If it's asking a question on Mahatma Gandhi, then it's not asking a question on Swami Vivekanand. Either it's asking Swami Vivekanand or APJ Abdul Kalam or Dalai Lama. So we will cover each and every concept thoroughly, every thinkers thoroughly, so that this will be like today I'll be posting only Mahatma Gandhi and your Swami Vivekanand, because these are the two thinkers which are very important for UPSC as per UPSC's past paper analysis. So why we need to study thinker and why we are studying thinker into this ethics, that's the point, like we, so that we will be able to quote their exact teachings and their thinking. So this is what UPSC needs you to perform well while you are into service, and ethically govern yourself, your emotion, your way of working, so that you should not discriminate on the basis of this or that, or you are only seeing towards a particular section, you're not looking towards a different pros and cons. You need to alter it altogether. And this Indian thinker Mahatma Gandhi is a father of nation. He is the UPSC's favorite one also. Wherever the UPSC is asking your questions like means over ends, just quote Mahatma Gandhi. If there's like any question on the human value like truth and non-violence, then again Mahatma Gandhi. If there's any question on education related, education all round development, again you can quote Mahatma Gandhi. Humanitarianism, Mahatma Gandhi. So we will deal one by one. First, before starting it, let's talk about Mahatma Gandhi. Who is Mahatma Gandhi? Mahatma Gandhi is the father of a nation. He just not only contributed in the Indian national movement, but because of the ethical foundation, because of his ethical foundation, we are studying him into this GS4. He established the India both during the freedom struggle and after it. And moreover, if we talk about, he acted as a moral lighthouse and anchor in testing times such as the partition in 1947. He worked, he basically, he is known as the lighthouse, moral lighthouse. He was a very, like when there was the partition in 1947, he morally worked over it, and without considering our benefit, his benefit or our benefit, he just focused on moral grounds. So now means over ends, what does it mean in this? Is like Gandhiji is being determining ethically of an action like wrong means can never lead to lasting noble end, and he withdrew the non-cooperation movement and did not support what revolutionary ideas like the Bhagat Singh had because of violent means. Why he didn't support it? Because of violent means, because he was like a believer of non-violence and truth and satyagraha. Basically, truth, non-violence, and satyagraha. These were the three philosophy of him, and he said that ends do not justify the means. आपको रिजल्ट किसी भी तरह से मिल सकता है, बट एंड दैट डजंट जस्टिफाई दैट यू आर राइट. And he always valued what? Truth over truth and non-violence. We can say satya and ahimsa must always be upheld. They are of intrinsic value of human beings, and they are not only respected but also the key to a good life. They are all not only respected but also what? It's a key to a good life. And if we talk about tolerance, pluralism, fraternity, Gandhiji advocated for universal brotherhood. He considered everyone as universal brotherhood, monothesis, and equality for all being. His prayer was like, Ishwar Allah, Tere naam sabko sanmati de Bhagwan. This gives what? His message, his same message. Like Ishwar ho ya Allah ho, everyone is one. Like everyone is Ishwar Allah, Tere hi naam hai. Oh God, it's all your name. Whether it's Ishwar or it's Allah. So to give every humankind a brain, that's what his message was. So he is like he always believed education leads to all round development, mind, body, and spirit. And he always focused on what kind of education. In the Vardha scheme education, we have seen that value based education. So here we have revised what history concept, that Vardha scheme value, it was a value based education given by whom? Mahatma Gandhi. And universal brotherhood, again this I have already taught you. And if we talk about inner strength, Gandhiji preached what? Gandhiji preached that a person should have a high moral strength, that no amount of pressure can shake his moral standing. Any kind of pressure should not shake your moral standing. The technique of satyagraha was used for this. Gandhiji always used technique of satyagraha, and his on the inner strength of satyagraha, who could go on fasting unto death, taking beating, even going to jail. He was not shaken. So inner strength can be developed through courage of conviction, confidence, and even spirituality. He said strength does not come from physical capacity. He said that strength does not comes from physical capacity. It comes from an indomitable will. आपकी willingness होनी चाहिए. Your willingness, that gives you what your that gives you physical moral capacity. So Gandhiji even measured people of success if they believe in their strength. If you have a belief in your strength and acted for the right cause, he says, first they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, and then you win. Firstly, what? Everyone ignores you. Then everyone is laughing at you. Then they might fight with you. Then you will win. Like during the farmers' protest, everyone was like, no, what? क्या ही हो जाएगा? What will happen? Nothing. No one will be hurt. Then they laughed at them. Why they are sitting simply? Then they fight you. Then people started fighting with, like government started fighting with them. Then they were on. That's what. So satyagraha meant the use of truth. What does satyagraha means? It means the use of truth, non-violence, and sacrifice to agitate, assert one's position, and being a change of heart in opponent so as to get justice. We are bringing what? Change of heart in one's. So what we are bringing? So as to get justice. This is what the recent peaceful as well as successful long march of farmers. Last time we have seen it. When we talk about conscience, Conscience, like God is within you. God is within you, and such a divine voice is the voice of conscience, which people must obey in times of dilemma. Whenever you face any kind of dilemma, that time you need to focus on your inner sense. That's what Gandhiji said. And he said there is a quote above all quote. There's a quote above all quote, and that is a quote of consent. That is a quote of consensus. And Gandhiji even gave like gender he talked about gender. In this, Gandhiji said that though women are different, physically women are different, physically men are more capable, but when we talk about on the ground of moral strength, women are far superior to men in matters of moral strength. Like to call a woman the weaker sex, it is a libel. It is men's injustice to women. If by strength is meant moral power, then woman is immeasurably men superior. Now, what we have learned from Gandhiji, like satyagraha, non-violence, trusteeship theory, wealth should be held in trust for society, and he even said, be the change you wish to see in the world. Whatever the change you want to see in this world, you should focus on that. Now, as per him, what he said, simple life and bare minimum material privileges. He believed in fulfillment of higher order needs such as knowledge. You should have a good knowledge. Whether you are living a luxury, there is no need of living a luxurious life. What you should have your mind should be luxuriously well. How? That your higher order thinking, your mind should be like morally correct, moral faith, knowledgeful, and even Gandhiji said it was against the conscience to have a material luxury. When masses of India is in poverty, then poverty and they are dying with hunger due to flood or natural calamities or man-made calamities. So that time, how could your conscience allow you to live your life happily and partying here and there and this and that? So that's what Gandhiji said. And he even said that it's your not only a voluntary good deeds. Gandhiji not only said that you should not only voluntarily do good deeds, but also as a duty for the well-off, to create a just and sustainable society. For what? To create a just and sustainable society. And Gandhiji's follower Vinoba Bhave, we know, that took it forward in the forward of Bhudan movement. He ran what? He ran a Bhudan movement in this. And social service, when we talk about social service, like spiritual upliftment, upliftment and a higher sense of fulfillment. And Gandhiji said the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Like what social service, the people who are running NGOs, what they are doing, they are following the path of Gandhiji. They are serving the people by losing their own thing. That's what the best way to find yourself is, to lose yourself in the service of others. And Gandhiji even next dealt with what? Cleanliness. Gandhiji said that cleanliness is next to godliness. And he even said moreover that this idea Gandhiji tried to address in a menace of sanitation. Like Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, we can quote him here. Manual scavenging and untouchability. And Gandhiji even talked about prohibition of this liquor. And he even condemned this. Intoxication. Why? Because it say Gandhiji said it pollutes your soul, mind, heart, and gives way to immoral act. So if any one of us is a firm believer of Gandhiji's teaching, then he or she should totally give up liquor. Why? Because it's toxic. It pollutes your mind, it pollutes your soul and even your heart, and gives you to immoral acts. And I prefer that whole country should boycott this, because our father of nation, he himself said, so we should follow his teaching and we should ban this. But I think this is totally not doable thing, because government is not gonna implement it. Next, how to quote Gandhiji into this are answers based questions. Like in 2019 UPSC asked a question, and man is but the product of his thought. What he think he become. What he think he become. This is MK Gandhi, he quoted. Like man is product. Man is what? Man is a product of his thought. And whatever he thinks, either he thinks a good, then he becomes a good person. He thinks bad, then he becomes that. He's attracted to negativity. That's what. And now, according to Gandhiji, we need to justify this statement. How? First, we will do a nice, catchy introduction. Then sub points like secularism and even these all his teachings, inner strengths. Like in inner strength, Gandhiji preached what? That a person should have a high moral strength, that no amount of pressure can shake his moral standing. Self-government, self-governed, self-sufficient, village republic, these were all ideas of Gandhiji. So today local self-government, that is panchayat or municipalities, that is what? And a self-sufficient, and they are the key good governance, and it also provides social control to ensure ethical behavior. That is true Swaraj will come only when people govern themselves as per their own value. So here we have quoted own values, own thoughts. When we talk about secularism, Gandhiji said that state that was impartial to all religions and deprived inspiration from all religions as a way of value-driven politics, as was the case during the rule of Ashoka and Akbar. He believed in this tradition, in the traditional Indian idea of Sarva Dharma Samabhava. Sarva Dharma Samabhava. Secularism? He believed in secularism. Just law should be just and reasonable. He said law should be just and reasonable. So we have given, and for this, for instance, we have taken the salt law broken by Gandhiji with his Dandi March. Why? Because people must abide by the law in all the circumstances, but they have the right to disobey. They have a right to disobey, but peacefully, and resist when the law is unfair and unreasonable. On the part of economy, we can say private enterprises, Gandhiji favored minimal economic regulation and free enterprises, but for a larger social well-being. He focused on social well-being, not individual greed for luxury. Trusteeship model. In this trusteeship model, he focused on what we can quote here, CSR funding. Like Gandhiji propounded the idea that owner of a wealth should see themselves as a custodian of what? Custodian of public resources, which people have entrusted with them. Do larger social good, and wealth should not lead to greed, but should be used for well-being. So we can quote here CSR funding. Example दे दो current से. and like innovation ideas, job creation, philanthropy work done by the this uh, industrialist. And we can quote even Bhagavad Gita. According to Bhagavad Gita, Gandhiji termed the Gita as his spiritual dictionary and gave it the status of his mother. One should do one's duty, that is, therefore, dharma, and not care about the result. He should follow the path of dharma. He should not listen, focused on the result. He should focusly follow the path of dharma, and which is the way of salvation, and it is the way of salvation. Gandhiji gave the idea that fulfilling one's duty in family, society, nation, or as a bureaucrat, that is, should be the core principle of human life. How we will quote into this? That while serving as a bureaucrat, our core principle of life should be that we should be morally governed as per the spiritual dictionary given in our religion, Gita, and we should follow the path of dharma without focusing on the result. So this way we will be the best bureaucrat, and people will start loving us because we are not doing any kind of injustice. We are doing what is to be done and what's need to be done. He always said that honesty and integrity, he said that what you think, what you say, and what you do are the harmony. What a happiness is what? Happiness is what? That whatever you think and what you say and what you do is the harmony. And he did not shy away from the criticizing even the Indian National Congress for its wrong policies and slow functioning. Look at the ethics of him. But when we talk about in current scenario today, a majority of the politicians, even you can say 99% of the politicians, they fail to fulfill honesty and integrity. When we talk about generosity, Gandhiji urged people to be kind. He said people should need to be kind and righteous regardless of their behavior to others. He said the weak can never forgive. जो कमजोर होता है, how will he forgive? Forgiveness is the attribute of strong. So strong should forgive, as portrayed in the movie Munna Bhai. We have seen the movie. We can quote it. Attitude. How we will quote in the attitude? A man is but the product of his thought. What he thinks, he become. So last year in 2019 is the asked question. A man, same thing. A man is but the product of his thought. What he thinks, he become. His attitude, he is like his consensus, his whatever the determinants, his destiny, whatever he has decided, he is cultivating the right attitude towards it, and he is becoming it. Before proceeding further, let me cover this 5 sins of Gandhiji so that you will be able to quote this into your answers. What are the 5 sins of Gandhiji? Firstly, wealth without work. Pleasure. First one is wealth without work. Pleasure without conscience. Knowledge without character. Commerce without morality. Science without humanity. Religion without sacrifice. And politics without principle. So first here, politics without principle. What does it lead? It leads power-seeking politics devoid of ethics. Leads to what? Corruption and misuse. Leads to corruption and misuse of authority. Wealth without work, earning without honest effort, and encourage exploitation and inequality. Pleasure without conscience, enjoyment ignoring moral responsibility. results in selfishness, addiction, and social decay. You can give example like drug addicts, what they are doing. Currently, they are like whosoever having thrilled life like while taking drugs. That is what ignoring moral responsibility. And what does it result? Is result in selfishness, addiction. They are addicted to it, and social decay. They are basically polluting the society, the social structure. Knowledge without character, knowledge without like education without moral values. You don't have any kind of moral value, but you are very highly educated. That is what education without moral value leads to misuse of intelligence. Even like scams, the people who are running scams currently, like cyber security scams, cyber threat and all, that's what leads to misuse of intelligence. They are very intelligent people, but they are working on a wrong path. Commerce without morality, business ignoring ethics and fairness. Like a business that's only focusing on the revenue, then what's that? Like all these cosmo dermatologist product, they are only focusing on that fairness cream, so that ignoring ethics, that every individual are equal, whether they are black or white. They are doing racism here. So causes exploitation and environmental harm. It even causes, and like whatever the we are digging like diamonds from the mines, that is natural thing. Although we have a lab grown diamond, so we can focus on the lab grown diamond instead of exploiting the environment. And we can ask our citizens to focus to go for lab grown diamond. We can quote it here. Science without humanity. Now, science without humanity, technology used without regard for human welfare. For example, we can say nuclear weapon, unethical AI means. Worship without sacrifice, like we are religious practices without compassion or humility. Result in ritualism and communalism. We see that there's a increase in communalism and ritualism. Why? Because we are worshipping without sacrifice. Every religion teaches you one thing: follow the path of truth and honesty. Help needy. Never lie. None of the religions are teaching different thing. But these all religious preachers, they for their own benefit, they keep on criticizing each other religions. So this, what does it do? It is increasing communalism. So we have covered all the differences here, like Gandhiji's like ethical persuasion, peaceful protest, integrity in leadership, conflict resolution without violence. Whenever the officer is stuck into in a conflict like situation, he should focus on resolving it without using violence means. And relevance to the non-violent conflict resolution, empathy in governance, anti-corruption. It reduces. So all these things we can quote in our answer holistically. So we just need to revise these all points. That's it. Like firstly, 7 sins, revise it. Then Gandhiji's views on education, universal brotherhood. Then truth, non-violence, satyagraha. Like truth, ahimsa, satyagraha. Satyagraha is protest, but silent protest. It should not be like we are breaking government vehicles or government or we are killing anyone, this and that. We should not do that thing. Ends do not justify the means, like trusteeship theory. Wealth should be held in trust for society. Here we can say CSR funding and all. We can quote here. Conscience, God is within you. Quote of conscience. There's above all, there's a quote. There's above all, there's someone who will ask you, while you were on earth, what you have done. While you were given in last birth, what you have done. So always think in a way so that you can answer in the question in the examination hall. So on gender, what was the Gandhiji's views? We have revised this. And then ethical persuasion, peaceful protest, integrity in leadership, conflict resolution without violence, and relevance today. Why Gandhiji's teachings are relevant today? Because it teaches you non-violent method. It asks you to be have empathy in governance, and it even teaches you to anti-corruption, like your moral should not be corrupted. You should work for the citizen. So you can quote it like inner strength can be developed through a courage of conviction and confidence and even spirituality. He said strength does not come from the physical capacity, it comes from indomitable will. You should have a willingness. So first here what did I say? That if you see anything wrong done by the government, first what you should do? First they ignore you. You should protest. How? When we are protesting, that time the majority of the time government ignores you. Then they laugh at you. The बैठे करने दो ना इनको, क्या ही करेंगे हमारा. Then they fight you. They'll fight with you. Then after that you'll win. That is what satyagraha meant. First agitate, sacrifice to agitate. So we have covered Gandhiji's main contributions. Then we have covered what is the contribution of Gandhiji in good life, like cleanliness, then Bhudan movement run by this Vinoba Bhave, one of the follower of the Gandhiji, and masses of India, like luxury, materialistic things. You should give up materialistic thing when you know that your majority of the country is even not able to have one meal a day or even a balanced diet. So you should always have a austerity in mind. Austerity is what? It is what Gandhiji said, preached a simple life. Live a simple life with bare minimal material privileges, but believe in fulfillment of higher order of needs such as knowledge, morality, faith. And moreover, he was against the consent to have a material luxury when the masses of India lived in poverty and hunger. Altruism, like voluntary good deeds should be done. Social service, spiritual upliftment, and higher sense of fulfillment. Then we have done views of decision making. May we can say talisman. During the talisman, Gandhiji's favored choosing the course of action based on compassion. He taught that whenever we are in doubt, he taught that whenever we are in doubt और over our course of action, we should think how our हमें ये सोचना चाहिए कि how our action is going to affect the poorest and the weakest society, whether it will help to alleviate their suffering, whether it's going to help to alleviate their suffering, or whether it will benefit them. And this talisman is particularly relevant for decision making. This is how during a service, a bureaucrat should think wisely, think properly, that if I implement this policy, what are the consequences? What will be the benefit to the poorest society? If it's benefiting, let's implement. Like financial inclusion policy, it has a lot many benefit. Or Ujjwala Yojana, we can quote it here. Many health benefit. So rural development, India lives in village. That was his Gandhiji's model, and Gandhiji said that majority of the India is living in village, and favored what? Rural development. He favored rural development. That he saw village representing true Indian ethos and culture. Village are the total blend of ethos and culture. They are representing your ethos as well as your culture. So he said inclusive and equitable development is necessary for the sustainable social order. For maintaining a sustainable social order, what is needed? Inclusion and equitable development is needed. And your attitude, a man is but the product of his thought. Man is what? He is the product of his thought. What he thinks, he becomes. 7 since we have completed this is how we have completed Gandhiji thoroughly. And if we compare Gandhiji with Subhash Chandra Bose, how you will say that Gandhiji's means and ends were what? Non-violence. And your Subhash Chandra Bose, his was ends over means, especially in times of oppression, invasion of India by INA. He formed INA. And according to Tagore, means were most important and should uphold humanism, and it should uphold humanism. So he also focused on means were very important. Why? Because they should uphold the humanism. Culture mein, when we talk about culture, Indian tradition and culture were the bedrock for the civilization and should be preserved. It should be preserved. And when we talk about Bose, Indian culture had deteriorated due to vested interests. Why? And ignored and needed to be modernized. He focused on modernity. And Tagore, he said, human choice and reason should determine culture. It should determine culture and it must keep evolving. He also said it must keep evolving. And human are the ends of themselves and not means. They are the ends of themselves, not me. And on education, he incorporated value-based knowledge, skills, culture, social awareness, and it even aims that should be created for the better members of society. When we talk about Bose, he's what he said. Education should include modern science. He's focused on modernity. Earlier also we said he is focusing on the modern views. Same here. In education also, he's focusing on modern science, both natural and human. Its aim should be development of society and upliftment of the marginalized. But where both are similar, marginalized section के लिए everyone is working. Education should not be the top down and perspective but student centric होना चाहिए. Who said this? This was said by Tagore, and it should aim at character building and bringing a student closer to nature. He focused on Shanti Niketan type of education, like जहाँ पे school का cage, मतलब classroom is a cage. One poem is also there that was written by again Rabindranath Tagore. वर्ल्ड में हम देखते हैं वर्ल्ड इज अ वन फैमिली. गांधी जी रिलेटेड वर्ल्ड एज अ वन फैमिली. एंड सुभाष चंद्र बोस ही सेड वर्ल्ड इज गवर्न्ड बाय रिलेशनशिप ऑफ पावर बिटवीन कंट्रीज. सो दैट्स व्हाट वी आर विटनेसिंग टुडे. India should gain the power to protect its interest and remain its old glory. Whereas Gandhiji said India should limit contact with outside and world unless it's strong enough to deal with it. He even said that world is one family but sees power, politics and exploitation. जब power की politics होती है तो exploitation it generally happens. And the world is one and the humanity is a family. What does Tagore said? He said the world is one and the humanity is a family and artificially divided by border. Artificially they are divided by border. We need universal brotherhood to ensure peace and justice. When we talk about rights, Gandhiji's views were rights of individuals should be balanced by right of society. Right of individuals should be balanced by right of society so that both can sustain. But when we talk about the Bose views on right, he said right of the society outweigh the right of individual as the former is required for the latter. Both are correct. And Tagore said right of an individual are sacrosanct and inviolable and should be the basis of any social order. But when we talk about nation, nation's view of Gandhiji was nation is a civilization. What is nation? A nation is a civilization which is sustained by the ethics and culture. But here, Bose said nation is a political unit which needs strength to sustain. Everyone is talking about sustain, but Bose said nation is a political unit which needs strength, whereas Gandhiji said nation is a civilization which is sustained by ethics and culture. Whereas Tagore said nation is an artificial concept that divides humanity, the world is one. So we have covered Gandhiji holistically, and we have compared even Gandhiji with Bose's views and even Tagore's views. So this is how I think I should end this lecture today, as it will become quite lengthy if I cover Swami Vivekananda today. So I'll be giving you a lecture of Swami Vivekananda by evening. So thank you for patiently listening to me. Bye. See you in the next lecture. Like, share and subscribe to our channel Think Like UPSC.